not as scared.
Connect with the Gambler at Fox PHL Gambler on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in, or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Chris Sowers with your 6 ABC weather update. What a gorgeous day around the Delaware and the Lehigh Valleys. It's full sunshine out there, comfortable temperatures, low humidity levels. The high will top out around 81 or 82. Clear and comfy overnight tonight with a low 61. For tomorrow, another day full of sun, 83. Thursday's bright and sunny, 85. Friday, guess what? Bright and sunny, 84. Have a great day.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Download the Lowe's app to get your home improvement playbook in your hands so you can get their team's expertise anytime. Download the Lowe's app to find what you need today. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Prepare, get better every week, every day, every rep. Truly, because we're not there yet. They whooped our ass today, and that's the reality of it. And we got to find a way to get better. You know, the great teams will bounce back from this, and that's what we plan to do.
Oh, Garrett Wilson speaking some truth there. The 49ers laid it down last night on Monday Night Football. And you know me, I'm not a type of guy that will say I told you so, but we were on the Niners, even without Christian McCaffrey. And it is a wonderful afternoon in the Delaware Valley. Sean Brace with you here on the Daily Ticket. Normally riding solo. Today, folks, no. And if you're watching, you can see, of course, on the stream, I am joined by a legendary Philadelphia Eagle. My man was in the trenches Trey, we do a show here called Beef Up Front because you know what? You can't win without beef up front.
You can't.
Trey Thomas in the building, representing here on The Gambler. Trey, can't thank you enough for stopping by, man. How we doing?
Oh, man, it's beautiful, man. Hey, I mean, it's a beautiful day. I enjoyed my drive out here. I messed around and I got here a little early.
Yes,
so
you did.
I went and grabbed a salad. And so as I was driving to go get a salad, I'm on one of these little back roads that has 25 miles per hour as the speed limit.
Okay.
I found out real quick that 25 miles per hour is just an idea because there was this old lady that shot by me in a BMW that was doing about 60. And she just was like, get out the way, I'm coming through.
Uh-huh.
So I realized that the 25 miles per hour is just an idea.
That's it.
It's a suggestion.
And it is a beautiful day. And,
It's a beautiful day.
Your vehicle, obviously, perfectly equipped for a wonderful day like this.
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely. Yeah.
Trey, obviously you're here. Of course, it's football season, and we know a thing or two about the game. But bottom line is we have a special announcement, and can't thank you enough, number one, for riding with us, believing with us. But we put the pieces together behind the scenes, and you are now officially with the Gambler Gang for the upcoming season.
Absolutely.
You and Todd Harrimans, of course, another legendary Philadelphia Eagle. And you guys started a show called Between the Vines.
Yes.
Now, that podcast is still going to be available, correct?
Yes, it's still going to be going.
All right. But on Monday night,
Yes.
every Monday night, except for this upcoming week, because we got Tuesday, it's Monday Night Football. But we'll put that to the side. Live from Chickies and Pete's out there in Marlton, where we were last night for the All-Pro Philly Players Show with Britton Covey and Gerald Colton. You're going to hear Trey Thomas and Todd Harrimans to follow up, and we're going to have 2.5 hours plus. Of course, stop on out every Monday night, and you're going to be able to hear Trey and Todd talk all things Eagles and everything else that's happening. We'll take phone calls, all that and more. So we're really excited to have you a part of the Gambler Gang. Sir.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. This has been something that it started out as an idea a couple years ago, and it was good for us to just really start putting it together.
Yep.
And then with Todd and I, last year we just started bouncing around to different wineries in the tri-state area, which was really cool. We really enjoyed it. And we brought it back again this year, and we're looking forward to joining you guys, and hanging out with the Gambler and just bringing some more football, man. Anytime I get a chance to sit down and talk the game and get a chance to even teach some stuff, I always enjoy that. It's always fun.
We'll nerd out with you, man.
Got to nerd out with some film.
This is what it's all about because it's football season. We waited all season long to get here. It's here. My wife is mad at me. I didn't leave the couch for 48 hours this weekend, Trey. 48 hours. I'll tell you right now. I kid you not. On Saturday, I get home, Texas, Michigan, and literally I saw 2:20 in the morning after Oregon and Boise State. Did not leave the couch on Saturday. We rolled right into Sunday. And of course, Monday Night Football last night. Tremendous. There is nothing better than NFL. 12-year veteran, 11 with the Eagles, man. It is so cool to have you in studio. And of course, as I said, for the upcoming season. And Todd's been on the show before. Mm-hmm. He was doing some really good things with the medical marijuana. And this was a few years ago, way before everything that's happened. Because, just with the prescription pills and everything behind the scenes that are happening and across the sports landscape in general, not just NFL related. And Todd hopped on the show and we promoted that. I am a medical marijuana patient as well here in the state of Pennsylvania. They need to just legalize it across the board. But definitely have always been a big believer in that and a huge fan of Todd. So really excited to have both you guys involved with the Gambler Gang. And I know the Gambler Gang itself are stoked as well. A lot of people are watching it right now, Trey. So look, let's go ahead and nerd out. I want to talk about, of course, what we saw last night, if we could, and it was a beatdown. And I'll put in the game to the side because it's week one, and you can give us your thoughts on all that, how much stock we should put into a week one performance. But let's just speak about what we have come to know over the past few seasons. Kyle Shanahan is a badass coach.
Yeah, he's really good. He's very creative with his play designs and concepts. And, he's going to put a team out there that's going to come out there and give you everything they has, even without Christian McCaffrey. You can get somebody out there, you can plug and play, put another player in there, and they're going to be as effective. And you have a great offensive line out there as well. that's going to help you when you have when you're missing pieces, when you have an offensive line that can get out there and create some movement for you. And then Purdy, man, he's just, he's a game manager. He's going to make the right throws, get rid of the ball on time, and that's all you need.
Yeah. Trent Williams steps in, had all the offseason off, relaxing, gets the new deal, slides in. How difficult was that for him to do what he did last night?
I think Trent Williams, he's going to continue to prepare. Because a lot of these players, aren't taking in preseason. They're making sure they're getting their work in, getting ready, because it's all technique. And especially when you're talking about a vet that's been around the game for so long, he doesn't need the time that a rookie would need to get ready for a game. So he's going to come out there and just make sure it's all conditioning, make sure that he's up to par and up to speed and ready to go and get into these games. And I think that the dude is a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
He is what it is.
It's crazy. Now, you brought up Christian McCaffrey, and they didn't have him last night.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Jordan Mason looked like Mike Jordan last night. This kid went for, he had himself a hell of a day. 28 carries, 147 yards, was just a beast back there. I guess the big question I would have is Christian McCaffrey a system back?
Yeah. That's what it seems, but that's what this offense can do. You know what I'm saying? When you're creating, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to create a lot of pre-snap reads. You're going to get all of the motion and everything. And everybody's playing some version of nickel defense where you're going to have 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. The rest are going to be secondary plays, even if you go with a 5 down front. But if you can create those combination blocks and just create movement, then now the back, all he has to do, pick which way you want to go and get upfield.
Yeah. Now, Brock Purdy, look, he continues to impress me, and he was 19 of 29, 231, no touchdowns. But again, as you said, game manager. And at the end of the day, it's funny because this was brought up yesterday, Bill Belichick, and it's a tremendous spot with Pat McAfee. It's my first time seeing it. I don't even know if it was the first time that they did it. I assume that they've been on the show together before, whatever. Put that to the side. He actually asked him, it's almost like a slur these days when you say a quarterback is a system quarterback. But at the end of the day, a game manager. That's what he said. And then Bill Belichick is like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you need a quarterback to go out there and sling it, and sometimes you need the defense to win the game.
And that's all you need. Just go out there. Don't put the ball in harm's way. Don't give the team any opportunities. Just be careful with the ball.
Yeah.
Lean on your defense, and then let's go get a win. That's all you need.
Tip. Now, of course, when we start talking about power rankings, I don't think the bravado's there for us, right? Should it be, though, for the Eagles?
Yeah.
To say that we're better than the 49ers, we're the class of the NFC at this point in time. Again, 1 game sample size.
Yeah, 1 game sample size. Come on.
Saquon looked good, though.
Saquon looked amazing. on a terrible field, Saquon looked awesome. And then when you're talking about our offensive line,
How good's our offense?
Man, these dudes are nasty right now, man. When you're looking at what Lane Johnson is doing out there, it's just ridiculous. He is he's playing at a high level. And then Mekhi, because I want to make sure I'm pronouncing his name right.
Mekhi, yep.
It's Mekhi.
Yep.
For someone to step in that's been playing left tackle for so long, and then to switch over to a right guard position, and especially playing the right guard for this particular team, because the way we do the silent count, the right guard is the one that has to turn around, look at just the whole mechanics of playing right guard here, especially when you're on the road. You have to look, see when the quarterback raises his leg, you have to tap the center, you have to get your head back around, and then now you have to sometimes have to find your guy and your responsibility on the fly. And I think he handled that extremely well, being from someone that's always been on the left side. I, for one, after all the years that I played on the left side, there was no way I would get on the right side, just because of your balance. And, everything is a little different when you get on the right side. And I think that even when you look at Cam stepping in, at center, I thought that he did a really good job. Of course, he had a couple fumbled snaps. That's something that's going to correct itself. You know what I'm saying? And then you had Landon coming in. He's going to do his thing. Joy Mailata. Yeah. They're animals out there, man. And I think that when you look at this offensive line and the way these guys are out there creating push and they continue to protect, man, how can you say we're not?
No, it's again, I opened up the year, and I won't lie. I had a hard time getting last year out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
It just was so
The
painful.
way it kind of collapsed at the end.
And when I was beating my chest, for all those weeks, when that game against Buffalo happened, I said, that's it. Give Jalen Hurts the MVP. We're going to smash the Niners. Look out. And then it just all fell apart right in front of us. And of course, with the additions, new coordinators, Saquon Barkley at the top of the list, everything was new. But I still, heading into that game on Friday night, was like, I got to see it. I got to see it. But I think I've seen enough after one game to believe that we got a difference maker in Saquon Barkley.
I think so. And I think that just the new system that has been brought in, I think that you're having some pre-snap reads, some motions that's going to create some of those mismatches with the offense. And, during the offseason, I was out there in Kansas City, and I was working with Coach Reed during training camp.
This year?
Yeah.
Get out.
So, because I like coaching. And I like to put what I taught to the test. You know what I'm saying? So I called Coach Reed, and I was like, hey, man, if you can, I would love to come out to training camp, and he let me come out there, man. And Andy Heck is the offensive line coach there. He was my offensive line coach when I was in Jacksonville. So they let me come out there and just do my thing. They allowed me to just act like I was a regular coach. And it was, it was a learning experience, and just learning the other side of the ball as well. Just learning just seeing some of the different stuff that when working with some of these different offensive coordinators, when they're bringing motion, and just some of the different eye candy that some of these offensive coordinators are starting to bring to the table. It was just interesting to see it.
As far as Mahomes is concerned,
dude,
what was that?
Okay,
like?
All right, listen, man. I tell everyone that I talk to that Patrick Mahomes has to be the most creative quarterback I've ever seen. Like, dude, like it's like that behind his back pass that everybody was talking about in Renton. He was doing that in practice like it was nothing. I remember one time we missed a blitz, and the linebacker was coming right down the middle, and he had to run out to the left. So he had to escape the blitz and running from the left, running full speed. And he's right-handed, so he flings the ball downfield. And I mean, he threw a 60-yard bomb to Worthy, and it was like he hit him on stride. And I mean, it was, to see him work, it was interesting, man. There were times where I had to just sit there and just act like, all right, you know what, just be cool, act like you've seen this before. And then like we go and sit and watch film, and we're all the interns, we in there like, man, did you just see this throw? Like, dude, like it was crazy to watch him work, and then you have a quarterback that's he know what I think what helps him with his creativity. He knows where everybody's supposed to be, and he's going to correct you if you're not where you're supposed to be. So if he's throwing a route to the left, he's telling the receiver to the right, hey man, I need you to come here or be there or whatever, because he's always looking for that extra person, and he's controlling all of the protection as well. So he might say, all right, you know what? I know that blitzer is going to come. He'll slide the line because he wants the blitzer to come, because he's going to have a hot read that's going to go over the top of it. He's a pretty sharp cat.
Yeah. He's gifted across the board, and they're about to, they're on a possibility of another path to a Super Bowl. Of course, we're way early in this thing, but it could be something we've never seen before. I still have a hard time believing that we've never seen somebody win 3 straight Super Bowls. I know it's extremely difficult, but you just think about the great teams with Steelers, all that over the years, whatever it may be. But again, like last year, I thought it wouldn't happen. Mahomes had a spectacular Super Bowl performance, comes back and wins. Took the Super Bowl right out of our hands against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts played his ass off, made one mistake, and it's Mahomes. Like right now, he is the Jordan. Like everybody else is the Karl Malone in the NFL. He's the Jordan.
He is. And one of the things that was also good about being out there is that I got a chance to see Carson Wentz, man.
Yeah.
And it was good to see him smile again,
Good.
to see him like enjoying the game. Because I was just like, man, I know it was brutal for you, dude. And it's tough, when
did he have a laugh with you on that? Did he have a chuckle at that?
Yeah. I was
Good.
like, man, I get it. It's tough, man. This is it's the way things went down for you. I know it was hard, but I would tell him all the time, man, I'm really glad to see that you're like enjoying playing the game again. And, and it was fun. It was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, look, it did kind of fall apart. Now that's another one. Just like last year, it's Carson Wentz right in front of us. And look, this is why you play the game. I don't have to tell you that. Of course, when he gets hurt out there in LA, I don't think many people were thinking Nick Foles is going to go on the run. He did. I never thought that Carson.
Nobody thought that Nick Foles. You know what? Okay. This is what trips me out, because everybody now is like, oh yeah, I knew he was going to do it. I was on the air during this time. And everybody was like, you know what? The season was over. Everybody felt like the season was over. There's no way. And I was just like, you know what? Just shut up. Just be quiet. Let him work. You never know. No one thought that Nick Foles was going to pull that off. No one.
No.
And if anyone can say, oh, yeah, I knew he was going to, you're lying.
You're lying. Yeah.
You're lying. No one thought Nick Foles was going to pull that off.
I'm putting my hand in the air on that one, too, as well. I wanted to believe, but I'm like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
It's
everybody was having seances. They burning candles. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do everything. Hopefully he can do it. But everybody was pissing on the campfire. It was over. You know what I'm saying? But Nick Foles, man, he went out there and he got it done.
Unbelievable. Yeah, man. Thank you, Nick. I know he just retired, too. He's doing his dad's season thing.
Yeah, playing pickleball.
Yeah. Is he pickleball now?
Yeah, he's like a pickleball champion or something like that, man. I don't know. Have you ever played pickleball?
I have.
I have not.
Look, it gets a bad rap in the game, right? But at the end of the day, Trey, you're breaking a sweat. That's what I tell people.
You can break a sweat walking.
Well, and you should walk.
I walk all the time.
Okay, then there you go.
Yeah, but so pickleball, all right, I see everybody with the tape. I mean, you're getting taped up, and it's.
I just was gone away. My father-in-law was a tennis player forever, and he picked up pickleball 2 years ago, and now he's just hooked. And it's quite the opposite. Tennis players hate pickleball players, but he just cannot stop playing. Huh. So he played this past week in Avalon. We were down there. I was talking about that summer vacation. Yeah. And apparently, so he gets out to the court and he got a warm up match. Now my cousin-in-law, right? He doesn't play, but he's playing with my father-in-law. And they get out there and they're taking on two old ladies.
Oh no!
So they're probably 55, right? 55, 65, whatever it was. And he said he returned a serve, like a real quick one, just a jab, and it hit her in her shoulder. And she's like, "I'm not playing with you anymore." That's kind of what you're getting in pickleball games.
So his return was a little too aggressive.
A little too aggressive for the old lady, yeah. So she tapped out on that.
She tapped out. That happens in pickleball, because you drive by, because you go out there and you have
they're packed.
Oh yeah, the courts are crazy. Yep. All right,
courts are packed. Yeah. Look, I wish I played a little bit more. I won't lie. But you do break a sweat. You break a sweat, and me, it was me and my wife actually were going back and forth. I have my own pickleball net.
Oh, okay.
So we go to a parking lot right there. I live in Conshohocken. We set up in a parking lot in Conshohocken. We'll play. My daughter's riding her bike around. Everything's good.
Good little game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything to get the heart rate going.
With pickleball, is it always doubles?
Well, like I said, I'll play my wife one-on-one.
Okay, one-on-one. Okay, cool. All right.
The doubles game, it gets a little crazy. Yeah, exactly. All right, we got Trey Thomas in the building. A lot of fun. As I said, every Monday night, moving forward, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, you're going to be able to catch up with Trey and Todd Harriman's. And, of course, you're going to have the All-Pro Philly Players Show before that's going to feature a Philadelphia Eagle and Gerald Colton and Eagles insider Dave Spadaro. Dave Spadaro, year 28.
Yes.
Year 28 with the Eagles.
And he still looks the same.
Bald is beautiful, baby.
Bald is beautiful. Spies looks like he hasn't aged a day.
No, he hasn't. No, you're right about that.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to get back to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles right now, Trey, because you brought up something with Patrick Mahomes talking about with the, calling out coverage. Now, it was one of the things that was discussed in this offseason, and maybe Kelsey kind of let it be known that, he was the one that was calling the coverage, right, to a point, and kind of, in my opinion, I don't think that's a slight at Jalen Hurts. I just think you're trying to ease his workload, make life easier for him. But I think there's another way to look at that. And if you allow the quarterback to really do what he needs to do, why not give him the utensils? Let him cook, I guess, as the kids say.
Yeah, as the kids say.
How do you feel about that? And is that how Kellen Moore is going to approach it? More on Jalen Hurts' plate?
I think everybody blew that out of proportion. Everybody in the league allows the center to direct the protection. That's just the way it goes. The center is the quarterback of the offensive line. Everything that we do is based off the center's point and off of his call. Now, the quarterback can come up and say, hey, no, I want to do this, X, whatever it is. Like if I say, like Kelsey can come up there and say, hey, you know what? Mike is going to be left. All right. And then the quarterback can say, you know what? No, because of the play, I want Mike to be right. And then that will change our rules. So I think a lot of people made a big deal about that. And it's everybody in the NFL does it. Everybody in the NFL does it. You know, all centers have to, they kind of direct where the offensive line is going to go in protection, and they direct where we're going in the run game because it's all based off of their point and whatever their call is. Now, you like Patrick Mahomes, like when we go back to Patrick, he's just kind of, you know, he will change some of it, but most of the time, the center is going to make the call. That's across the board, across the league. Now, I do know that when Tom Brady was playing, he would direct it. You know, I think that Peyton would you know, direct it as well. You know, but most of the time, centers are the ones that's going to make that call anyway.
And especially somebody like Jason Kelsey, right?
Yeah. You know, he's going to make the call. He makes the point, he makes the call, and then away you go. And it makes it easy on the quarterbacks. You know, now the quarterback he does have the authority to come up there and just say, you know what, all right, I disagree with that call. I see something different. Let's change it. But other than that, it's going to be the center.
Now, of course, Kellen Moore, game one. We had a little bit of a look preseason training camp. You know, I'm sure you still have incredible connections across the board, so you're hearing some things. If you could, what is something that you noticed differently right from the jump in Brazil? Is there something that stood out to you a little bit more than previous years just because of Kellen Moore, the offensive play caller in year one here?
I think that just right out the gate, the motions, you know, just seeing some of those pre-snap reads, some of those motions, at the end of the day, it's all going to be inside zone, outside zone, pass protection. It's all the same stuff. It's just the way you dress it up. And I think that he did a good job. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everybody like, oh, yeah, he's such a guru. It's still inside, outside zone. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, oh, he's going to bring all of this stuff. It's just, what eye candy is he going to bring to the table that's going to make it look a little different? Because you look at the runs that Saquon Barkley ran, one of his touchdowns, it was an inside zone run. And I personally love inside zone runs just because you're going to get two combination blocks off of that.
I believe this is the one that Becton and Juergens teamed up and literally threw the guy out of the club.
There you go. Yeah. You get two combination blocks. You're always going to get two combination blocks when you're talking about inside zone runs. I love inside zone runs. You know, and it makes it a lot easier because now both of you got and they're vertical combination blocks. So it's not like you're trying to reach, you know what I'm saying? It's more vertical combination blocks. You're going to get two guys that's going to be, you can be a little bit more physical, and then you let the running back just pick his hole. And I think that, but when you're talking about what's being brought to the table, I think there's a little bit more eye candy when you're talking about some of those motions. When you got the A.J. Brown touchdown, where that little slight motion, it changes what the defense is going to do, and then bam, there you go, you make the read. And now, you know what another play that was that just jumped out at me. One of those passes that went to Slim over on the left, you know what I'm saying, where he went out, it looked like he was going to be the lead blocker on like a receiver screen, but then he went upfield. And it just, everything about that play made it look like it was going to be one of those little receiver screens. And then Slim just got upfield, and then bam, a nice little dump pass to him. I mean, little stuff like that goes a long way when you're presenting a little eye candy that's going to throw the defense off.
You know, we had Britton Covey on the show yesterday, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, where you guys are going to be every Monday night. And he said he weighs more than Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is crazy. And Devonta is fearless to go over the middle, and just, he's got great hands. He had one of those great catches that moved the chains in that game, and just stops right in the middle in front of those linebackers, takes the hit. That he's the truth.
I love Smith, you know what I'm saying? And he has made me a believer in him, because at first, you know, I'm like, man, he's too small for this game, you know, but I love the way he plays the game. He has no problem making those tough catches. He will get right there in the middle, take one of those. You got a linebacker, safety coming downhill. He plays smart. He gets low, but I like the way he plays the game. You know, he's a physical receiver. You wouldn't think it, but because of his size, but I think he plays bigger than what he really is.
And of course, AJ, 10 targets going off. Pick your poison, defensive coordinators.
Absolutely. And I mean, AJ, and that's the thing that's with this offense is that, I mean, yeah, like you say, pick your poison. Like, who are you going to double? Because AJ Brown is just an animal out there, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like another T.O., where you got just big physical receiver. He's like he's like having a running back out there.
Yeah. And I think if he doesn't get his targets, he might turn into T.O. too.
Oh, yeah. He might go slap somebody up, But you can see one of the things that I like about how Coach Sirianni now,
we have a question here about Nick Sirianni. So this is a great segue.
Yeah, because one of the things I like now because now he's kind of like the guy that's, he goes and puts his arm around everybody as, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, I know you're not getting your targets right now, but just hang in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't flip over everything. Don't knock over all the Gatorade and everything. Just hang in there. You're going to get your turn. Even when you had Jalen Carter have a couple things happen, you saw him when they panned him over. He's got his arm around him, talking to in his ear, like, hey, man, I just need you to keep being aggressive. I'm just going to talk to you in your ear and make it seem like I'm telling you stop, but I really want you to keep doing it because it's working.
We got Trey Thomas in the building. We got a couple questions here via YouTube, via socials. Get them in. We're going to take a quick time out. Other side, I'm going to keep peppering Trey with a lot of Eagles conversation. I also have a big picture question on all things NFL. Trey, it was ugly in week 1 for a lot of offenses. We had 17 quarterbacks not reach 200 yards passing. 17. The hell is going on? I'm not going to ask you if we should be playing preseason games, but is this something we should be playing preseason? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think there it is. The proof is in the numbers on that one. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler. Love to hear your thoughts. If you have a question for Trey, of course, he knows a thing or two about the game. Fire away. Once again, this is the Daily Ticket. Brand new for you here, folks. We got a brand new show coming up. It's going to be The Blind Side, right? You guys are going with The Blind Side?
I think we're going to go with The Blind Side show.
I like that. That.
Todd and I, he was my guard. He was my wingman.
All right.
Mighty wingman.
Got your back. What do they say? Got your 6, right? I'm not a military man. I apologize. I don't want to get that wrong. I apologize. All love and respect.
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. Get those questions in. And once again, you got Todd Harriman, Trey Thomas, live from Chickies and Pizza in Marlton every Monday night, heard right here on The Gambler. It's the Daily Ticket. Don't go in there. More after this.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Can't take the Ben Franklin Bridge into New Jersey today. It's shut down as part of the closures around the Constitution Center for the debate tonight as the Vine Expressway eastbound calling Schuylkill to 95, westbound Schuylkill Jan, University to Vine, and Boulevard to Belmont. I to tell it, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in one easy app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
TD, Tutty, taking it to the house. Hey, Sean Brace here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Are you ready to place your first NFL bet? Well, try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code BRACE. That's promo code BRACE for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Now, that's only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
CEOs You Should Know, brought to you by Comcast Business.
Hi, it's Greg Karen. I'm the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're kind of a highly specialized economic development agency. We are the official tourism promotion agency for the city of Philadelphia globally. The way I like to refer to what I do is the way I was trained years ago, is to talk about what's the end result of what we do. I ask people to think about what it's like when they are walking in this middle of Center City and WrestleMania fans are running up and down the streets, or during the Army-Navy game when the entire city feels like a campus of West Point or the Naval Academy. And even more simply, people don't notice it until we talk about it. But just that feeling when you see people walking up and down Market and Chestnut in the streets of Philadelphia, wearing hang tags and name tags with whatever association they happen to be with, and really is a major driver of our economy in Philadelphia and in Southeast PA. And the richness of our culture, diversity, history, the gastronomic scene, all those things that make this such a wonderful place to work, make it an extremely attractive destination, so that when people come here, they truly do feel the richness and diversity of our city, whether they're here from a professional event, a fraternal event, a sporting event. The backdrop of the city and the richness of the city all make it an extraordinary value proposition for planners of these big events. Our website is discoverphl.com.
Comcast Business, the complete connectivity solution, cybersecurity, internet, and mobile, all from one provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Hi, I'm Dr. Debbie Harrington, and I'm running for the Lieutenant Governor for the great state of Delaware. This year's election is so important, and I wanted to remind you to register to vote and exercise your right to vote in this year's election.
Vice President Harris.
They are out of their mind.
Former President Trump.
We have to set the record straight.
Go toe-to-toe in Philly.
The presidential debate.
Listen tonight at 9 Eastern on iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
Or search debate on the free iHeartRadio app.
Lowe's knows to start fall projects, you need reliable outdoor power equipment from Ego. Right now, get your choice of a select 56-volt blower or chainsaw for $249. The 56-volt technology powers over 80 tools, so you can switch from blowing leaves to cutting trees with ease. Save time and money with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Valid through 10/2. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Item number 5207558 and item number 4354078.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
On first down, this time it goes and right up the middle for a touchdown goes Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the game. One by air and one on the ground.
Yeah, he wasn't done either. He added another one to that tally, of course. 3 touchdowns on the day in Brazil. Saquon Barkley, a big performance in the debut performance. Now, you played with the great T.O. in his debut performance.
Yeah, T.O. was an animal, man. T.O. was...
Good grief.
T.O. was just an animal, dude. Like, how tall is T.O.? Like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever his weight was, with like single-digit body fat, just an animal. And come out there and just in a cat suit, all spandex, and he's running routes with all these bands and devices on him and stuff, man. And you're like, man, what is this, man? This dude, he was a difference. He was a difference maker for us.
As far as debuts go, like that's the first one that comes to my mind, and I would say I'd have to put it up against it. Now, T.O. had a couple touchdowns in his first debut. Forgive me, because I always confuse the preseason game as well with the regular season game.
Mm-hmm.
But I forget what his debut performance was. Do you remember that one?
No, man, I don't remember games. Like people, I'll see the cut clip of it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I know what play that was, because I remember it was like a big bomb. It was like a pass 67 for us. So for me, it was I had to take the defensive end. I knew I was gonna have a chip block coming upfield, And it was like a little play action, something going back to the right. And, we ran that play a lot.
Yeah, T.O. had a hell of a performance with let me see. Was it against the Giants? Was that the debut in September 9th? Because I always think about that Cincinnati game where it was just a bomb. I believe that was the preseason. Anyways, we'll save that one for another day. Bottom line is Trey Thomas is with us here. And folks, if you missed the announcement, he's with the Gambler Gang himself, and Todd Harrimans will be repping us, hopping on with us throughout the course of the season. But bottom line is Monday night live from Chickies and Pizza Marlton, 7:30 start time. They'll be live from 7:30 to 8:30 out there. And of course, Trey, anytime you want to hop on, man, we'll make that happen.
Yeah, man. It's it's a nice little drive out here. Come and hang out.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't mind the drive.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking all things NFL. If you got a question, go ahead and fire. All things Eagles as well. We did have a question I want to throw your way, Trey. He wants to know. This is from the Philly podcast. To hear what Trey thinks about Nick's role. How would he have felt about a quote CEO coach?
To me, it doesn't, because you really don't deal with the head coach as much anyway, especially for my position. I was dealing mainly with Juan Castillo all the time. You're only going to deal with your position player, your position coach as much. So, I think I'm okay with it, and I don't think the players have a problem with it either. I think that these guys understand the situation. They're mainly going to be dealing with their position coaches mostly anyway. So, I don't see it being a problem.
Okay. All right.
And I think it allows Coach Sirianni to be a little bit more active on both sides of the ball and can kind of, try to keep everybody energy up, what I'm saying? So I think that helps him as a coach to be able to work with both sides of the ball and kind of keep eyes on everybody that's out there. I think it helps.
Yeah. And the one thing that always strikes me is we didn't have an issue when everything was going right.
Oh, yeah.
When they were on the road to the Super Bowl and they made the Super Bowl, everything was fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now we have an issue, and there's the reason is because losing.
When things go bad, you start, hey, but there's a crack right there.
That's it.
There's a little something over there too. Like there's something in that corner there. We need to clean that up. So, that's what happens.
All right. So again, week one, we always have to preface it by saying that. So there's no overreaction, but there are concerns, right? And I think legit concerns. And one of them that I have, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on this, is in my mind, Trey, this league is passers and pass rushers, right? And we talked about the Super Bowl season, and yeah, the Eagles lit it up, and I think had the record as far as sacks is concerned. Last year, I think people would be surprised to see how good Kansas City Chiefs were on defense with the sacks that they were able to get. Chris Jones was a monster on Thursday night against Baltimore Ravens, ripped it up.
Yeah, he's an animal.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So where are we at right now with this pass rush? Because I'm concerned. Bryce Huff, he had a great season last year with the New York Jets. New system. I know Vic Fangio really wanted him in here, and that's great, but my man's name wasn't called at all on Friday night. And I just don't know where the pass rushing is coming from right now. So is this something that we should be concerned about? Is it something that is on your mind? Where do you stand on
Well,
that?
when you go back and you look at the game, and of course we didn't have the numbers that you wanted to see as far as sacks. I think we came out of it with 2 sacks. But I also feel like when you go back and you look at the game, Jordan Love wasn't able to just sit in there and just keep his feet calm. And, I think there was enough rush to make him move around in the pocket at times. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't able to just sit back there and make peanut butter jelly sandwiches and dice them out. He had to get rid of the ball. He had to. They made him uncomfortable at times. When it comes to rush. And I study a lot of guys in a different style of rush. That one of the things that I noticed with our rushers is that they always line up with the same foot back. You know what I'm saying? So when you're lining up with your inside foot back all the time, you're always going to make contact at the same spot. So if you're a speed rusher, if your inside foot is back, you're going to either come in on your third step or you're going to stab in on your fifth step. And that's just if you understand how to count steps, and you're like, I was always taught to count steps. Like I never, you always, sometimes the old school offensive line coaches that say, hey man, once the shoulders turn to you, that's when you shoot your hands. No, Juan was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to look at his stance. We're going to look at which foot is back, because then we're going to count steps. We know that if his inside foot is back, he's going to come in on his third step. If not, it's going to be on his fifth step. So that's how we started working it. So when you have speed rushers that's always jetting upfield as an offensive tackle, you know, well, all right, you know what? If he has to take 3 steps before he attacks, then I just set him 45. I set him at a 45. I take 2 kicks 45. I shut him down before he gets going. Or if I'm on the slide side of it, I take 3 kicks vertical, I punch him, and then I'm ready to run him by the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you have rushers that don't have a power rush to them, it makes it a lot easier for tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's one of those things where, again, Fangio wanted him. We need to allow him to get this going. It's a whole different day and age now with the NFL. Like, we're looking at preseason football, if we're honest, in weeks 1, 2, and I feel like maybe even the 3.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 weeks to at least get everybody's legs under them, to kind of feel comfortable, because you haven't gone full speed. You haven't. Everybody say, oh yeah, we practice with a lot of energy. The quarterback still has on a red jersey. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to pull up.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of flip that switch. And, and everybody's like, oh, well, all you got to do is game time, flip that switch. No, there's no switch. that doesn't happen. You have to kind of get yourself in that mode. And I think it will continue to come. I think as you continue to study, and I think, when you're talking about rush, when you look at some defensive ends, and I need to sit down when I get the all 22 just came out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be able to sit down and really watch what he did as far as a rush, or what the guys did as a rush. And you have to understand, like, every rush isn't going to work against every tackle. So you have to have certain rushes that work against certain tackles, and sometimes you might have to change it up depending on what you're dealing with. Some guys might be grabbers, some guys might be punchers. So you have to have rushes that are designed for that particular tackle that you're dealing with. And I think that as you continue to play and you start studying in that way, it will help.
Should we give Green Bay Packers offensive line? Again, you didn't have an opportunity to really dive deep into the film, but should we give Green Bay Packers offensive line a little bit more credit as well?
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Okay. They did a good job. You look at the sacks that were given up, and it was because Zach came off of a blitz, and the tackles didn't slide out to him, so that was and I thought that it was a nice blitz, because what they did was they brought that blitz off the backside of the protection. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't bring it from the passing strength. So they brought it from the backside of the protection. The tackles didn't slide. And then there you go. You got Bond coming in for a sack, so I think that helped, showed a different wrinkle within the defense. But, once you start seeing the rush, like I saw Josh Sweat do, it was one of these rushes that my man Smith that coaches down in Baltimore now, he's kind of designed this little cross chop hop out rush. It was okay, but the offensive tackle, I think a lot of guys have seen it a lot more, so tackles are handling it a lot better. You can punch through it, and he got punched.
So the big reason for pass rushing, of course, that goes whatever game. But as far as Monday night, Kirk Cousins, Dre, like, he looked awful.
I heard
in that first game, right, against the Steelers. Now, he was only sacked twice. He could have very well been sacked a bunch more. He was throwing it away, and that's understood, because when you got Watt breathing down your neck and that Steelers defense, of course. But I feel like my man is rusty. He's stiff, and he very well could be still. Look, that was week 8 when he tore his ACL. He still could be hurting, right?
Yeah.
They draft Penix. He knows he's got to be out there. It's understood. But I feel like it's there for the taking on Monday night. It's a 6.5-point spread right now. Birds are big-time favorites. I think it opened at 5. But I just feel like if they can get after Kirk Cousins, and you could say this every game, understood, but to match points against the Eagles at home on Monday night, if they can get to Kirk, I think it's lights out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is something you're going to go back and you're going to look at what TJ Watt. Not TJ. Which one is he? Was that TJ?
Yes, TJ was.
Because the Watt brothers.
Yeah, Watt brothers. Yeah. We got Bosa's, we got Watts.
And the Kelseys. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so I think that you got to go back and see what he was looking at, because he was talking about what that he noticed something on film that helped him get off on the cadence. And I mean, and that's the thing too. I think that when you start studying, because I worked my second year coaching with the Eagles, I worked with outside linebackers focusing on pass rush. Like, I love talking pass rush just because I studied it all the time. And, I think that once they start watching film and noticing a lot of tackles, a lot of linemen nowadays have hitches. You know what I'm saying? Where they have like a flinch or something that they do right before they take off. And that's when you, because I just a quick story. One of the things that when you go back and you think about how Dwight Freeney and them used to be coming off the ball, they were always one of the fastest defensive end getting off on the ball.
Sure.
You know what? They never looked at the ball. What they did was they found an offensive lineman that had a hitch, and they always went off on the hitch. You know what I'm saying? Because the hitch is something that you cannot fake. Because if you fake it, it's a flinch and it's a false start. But if you're a lineman, because I was always taught, you got to get rid of that hitch, get rid of that hitch, get rid of the hitch. Because if sometimes it's your butt drops, or it's something that you do right before you take off. And defensive ends that are in tune to that, they study that and they get a feel for that and they take off. They don't look at the ball. They look for that hitch and they go. And I think as you continue to study and you find guys that have it, if you can find that hitch, that'll help you with your rush.
Some are saying TJ Watt could be the best defensive player in the game right
He's nasty.
now. Yeah,
he's nasty. I think he's very creative. He's fast. He has a lot of different rushes that he can bring you. He's going to give you a single hand bull rush which is I think is one of the most dangerous rushes that you can give. I like single hand bull rush, teaching single hand bull rush, because everything can come off of it. You can hit and then get low and take the edge. You can hit, spin off of it. There's a lot that you can do off of a single hand bull rush instead of a traditional double hand.
We got Trey Thomas in the building. Please hit us up with any of those questions. Get involved with the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler, at Fox PHL Gambler. A lot of questions coming in. And again, it goes back to the Green Bay game, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to actually talk a little bit more about this upcoming game on Monday night. What's it like playing out there, man, on a Monday night?
Oh, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Monday night is, you know what?
Did you prefer Monday night overall?
I really didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what? If I had to pick a game, let's go ahead and get it over with. Let's do the 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get it over with. Wake up. Let's go get after it. But you always like being on the primetime game, being the only game on. You know.
So Monday night felt bigger.
Oh yeah, man. Monday night was huge. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the big game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you dream about. Yeah. Monday night games, and then now you got Thursday. Now you got Saturday. You even played Friday night.
Yeah,
that took a lot of these guys back to high school. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights. So, but Monday night's games was always big because you knew that you had to earn that spot. You know, like I remember like Jeff Blake when he played with us, you know, he was like, man, I never played on a Monday night because you had to earn that. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was in Cincinnati, they really weren't like that to be on Monday night games. You know, so
that.
You know, I remember when he was here and we played on the Monday night game, he was like, man, this is my first time in my career playing on a Monday night game. But for us, by that time, it was pretty normal because we were pretty solid by that time. You know?
Hell of a run.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit about, just as far as the way the league is now, 10-hour trip to Brazil.
Yeah.
10-hour flight. That could not have been easy. And then if you're Jordan Love getting hurt, coming back, I'm sure that had to be a miserable plane ride home.
Yeah, that had to have been tough, you know. But I'm pretty sure they had the biggest plane that you could possibly get. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody had a row that they got everybody on, you know, just so that you can have some room to kind of stretch out and get everybody a little room to get out there. And somebody asked me about this, saying that, you know, do you think that travel would, you know, put a little wear and tear on the body? But I think that with this mini bye week that everybody had, I mean, because you played Friday night, you had Saturday, Sunday off, Monday off, Tuesday, you probably have a walkthrough tomorrow, and then you start getting back into your regular week schedule, you know. So I think that they had enough days off to get ready for a Monday night game. Now, if this was a Sunday game, I was like, oh man, yeah, that's a lot. But you know, with it being a Monday night game, I thought it was, it was well timed.
And especially the beginning of the season, I think, I don't know if you could do that. Well, they do play international games in the middle of the season, so they could do whatever they want. The NFL.
The NFL. You know.
Now it's funny because how many days off you think they got? Because I felt like Travis Kelce was all over the globe after that game against Baltimore. He was in New York all week with Taylor at the tennis matches. So like, I think Andy gave him like 5 days off.
Man, listen, man. All right. So, you know, I had to have a conversation with Coach Big Red. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Big Red, I'm going to be cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of offended. You know what I'm saying? By all the time you give these guys off, man. I'm like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, where was that for us? You know what I'm saying? Like, where was all this? He even adjusted the practices where they could go to a concert.
Come on.
And I'm like, Big Red, what is this? Like, what is this? Where they were like, all right, you know what? We're gonna change these padded practice so that these guys can go. I'm like, what the? What is this, man? I'm like, where was this for us, man? Big Red had his foot on our throat out there at Lehigh, you know, and now you're out there in Missouri, and you know, I guess as you get older, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you get older, you have grandkids, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
soften up a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're always giving out cookies, you know what I'm saying? You always got some candy in your pocket. It's different, you know. But
the league's changed, and so has Andy Reid.
Yeah, Big Red has changed, man. You know, now the practices were still physical, but he gives a lot of time off, and you know, and he looks out for his veterans. You know, but I think that even just the way the league is now, you know, where with so many rules with the hours that they can be out there and everything, so it's a lot different. And I definitely think that this bye week definitely helped us to kind of help us get our legs back after this 10-hour flight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You know, look, I know the season flies by and the weeks fly by, but I'm sure every hour matters in a week. And of course, resting and getting ready. I don't have to, you know, I don't have to tell you. I will ask you though, because I always assume it's like getting into a car wreck and making a tackle in an NFL game.
Yeah. You know, Toradol is an amazing drug, first of all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to shout out to Toradol. If anybody got an in on some Toradol, you know what I'm saying? Shoot your boy some, you know. But like, Toradol is amazing, you know. But like back then, you know, I don't know if the guys can still take it, you know. But like back when we played, I mean, Toradol was, you know, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, but it took away everything. But then, you know, so you would get a shot of Toradol the day before the game, like right before the game, and then like what, Monday night it would wear off. So then you would just be like, then all your pain comes back. Tuesdays are pretty rough. Then you start loosening back up on Wednesday so you could get back to practice, and then you get that shot again before the game, and then it's really, you know, wash, rinse, repeat, and you just keep pushing. But,
Trey, I'm watching the game last night, and you're talking about, we know how physical the Niners are. It was the first quarter. It's just, and look, even in the Green Bay game, even in the Eagles Green Bay game, there was like some smash hits, but like these dudes are just flying.
Oh yeah.
It is a straight up gladiator sport out there, man.
It's a violent game. It's a violent game. No matter how much they change the rules, it's still a violent game. And you know, and like my middle son now, he plays, and he's 6'9", you know, and like he's at Westchester right now, and he went to play basketball, and then he was just like, you know what, man, I want to try football, and I'm like, you want to do what?
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, son, you're 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to do? He was like, yeah, I want to play tight end. And I'm like, do you all right? You know, so we started talking about it, and I'm like, son, you know, this is a different mindset that this, you know, that you have to develop, you know. Now, if you put on weight, I can teach you tackle, but he caught a couple passes and he feels like, yo, no, I don't want to block. You know, I want to catch a pass. You know,
6'9" tight end though.
Yeah,
that's gonna pop. That's gonna pop.
Yeah, I mean, it could be awesome. It could be awesome, but I'm like, now understand, you know, once that you're going to get thumped, and I want you just remember this conversation while you're lying there on the ground, and you have to pick yourself up. And after you just got thumped, I need you to get up and just dust yourself off, and let's move on to the next play, because I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, this is a violent game. You know,
the mindset. You're right about that.
It's a different mindset.
Yeah,
man.
and at all levels. And speaking of all levels, coming up tonight at 6:00, we got the Villanova Coaches Show. They're 2-0 on the early part of the season, so that's coming your way at Chickies and Pizza as well. Mark Ferrante, the Coach Show can be heard right here on The Gambler, coming up at 6:00.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
I like Coach
Ferrante.
I like Coach Ferrante. During our recruiting off season, my son was being recruited and everything, and Villanova was one of the schools that we were looking at, and so he was that was the only camp I let my son participate in this summer.
Really?
Yeah, so I like him though. You know, I really like him.
I think he coached offensive line, or
he coached offensive line for several years. Yeah. So you know, I really like him as a coach, and but my son decided to go to Lafayette. But but it was I really enjoyed our time there, man. And I go to Villanova, hang out, go to the camps and stuff. It was fun.
Great program,
yeah.
And they're right in it right now, and
that's good.
Should be competing again. A long way to go.
Yeah,
but this is a team that constantly makes the playoffs. And last year they ended up losing, I think, to the eventual champion. I want to say South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to say that was the case. that was the case. All right, we got Trey Thomas in the building. Questions, fire, please, at Fox PHL Gambler. 4 o'clock hour coming up on the other side. We'll continue talking some NFL week 1, but we got to look forward to week 2 as well. We got the spreads, we got some early line movement, all that and more. Don't go anywhere. More Daily Ticket. Back after this.
Hello, I'm Scott Strauss. On 9/11, I was a New York City police officer assigned to finding survivors buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. Those were difficult days. But what kept me going was seeing the way Americans joined together in unity. It didn't matter if you were a Democrat or Republican or anything else. For 9/11 this year, now a National Day of Service, let's rekindle that spirit of unity by doing good deeds. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
Get ready, football fans. Good Morning Football Overtime is football's newest show breaking down all things NFL. Check out top highlights, player interviews, fan feedback, special guests, and everything in between. Join hosts Jamie Erdell, Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, and Akbar Bajabiamila 5 days a week for all the NFL action. That's Good Morning Football Overtime. It's football for everyone, weekday mornings at 10 on PHL 17.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Make family night exciting with an outdoor TV, music system, landscape lighting, and Wi-Fi everywhere. Enjoy the ultimate staycation in your own backyard with 48-month no-interest financing. Visit worldwidestereo.com, making homes more fun since 1979.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
PGA Tour officials were meeting with reps from Saudi Arabia's public investment fund this week to finalize a $1 billion injection. Ranger Suarez starts on the mound for the Phillies against Tampa Bay tonight. Left-hander's coming off a win in his last outing. And we are coming up now on week 3 of college football. Villanova will entertain Towson on Saturday, while Temple, they host Coastal Carolina. I'm Scott Davidson.
The NFL action is here. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Pennsylvania only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Virginia, the Vine Expressway, both ways, Schuylkill 95. There's no access to the Ben Franklin Bridge into New Jersey as part of the closures around the Constitution Center for tonight's debate. Virginia 95 northbound Girard to Bridge and southbound Vine Expressway to the Walt Whitman. I have to tell it total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Greg Karen, I'm the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
It's the political heavyweight event.
We like a good fight.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump.
Here, we're going to have some fun, right?
Lace their purple gloves and go for the knockout punch.
You know, when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for.
Which candidate will deliver?
I look forward to that debate.
Listen tonight at 9 Eastern on iHeart's 24/7 News Channel or search Debate on the free iHeartRadio app. Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD27 3D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anything's going on tonight, Trey. I don't know. No football?
No football?
Yeah, there's nothing on
You mean
tonight.
the NFL didn't squeeze a Tuesday night game in? I mean, because we've played every day.
Every day. Christmas.
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered it all.
It's
You
insane.
know, so there's not a college game?
Nothing,
huh?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not a Tuesday night game.
Maction will be coming here soon, a little bit later.
Oh, we need a little more. We need to catch our breath. This is our time to kind of regroup.
Yep.
You know, watch some film,
That's
get
it.
ready for the next week. Yeah.
We still got some Phillies action to discuss. MLB, I think we're about 18 games. I apologize. I was dialed in all things Phillies all the way up to this weekend. I've been consumed by the football bug. It's here.
Yeah.
We will definitely get back. Luke Arcani, who covers the Phillies for us, does an unbelievable job. He's going to be on the show, I believe, Thursday. So we'll talk all things Phillies a little bit later. But right now, it's front and center in front of us. And Trey, look, you've done media. You've been on the airwaves for a long time, and obviously playing the game. I'm sure it's a little bit different feel, but we talk about this. You know, it's funny because once the season ends, it's like I can't wait for it to get here, and then when it gets here, it's like I'm not talking about anything else but this. This is what we want right now. So football controls all.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. This is the fun time of the year.
No.
You know, and I try to get into baseball. I've tried. You know, I like it.
Yeah, playoff baseball is great.
Playoff baseball is awesome,
especially in Philly.
Yeah, absolutely, it's awesome. You know, but like I had to get into pitching. I like the mechanics of pitching.
Really?
Watch it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't surprise me after talking to you here for the last hour. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me one bit. You're very technical.
Yeah,
when it comes to offensive line blocking, all that, defense, all that. All right. One little side note, just to let you know, we do have some college football conversation coming up at 5:00. Beef Up Front. It's the name of our podcast. Myself and Ryan Coyle, we call him Beef. He's 115 pounds soaking wet.
Okay.
I introduced him to all my friends over the weekend, my family. He came down and they're like, they call you Beef? Yeah, he's the skinniest dude in the world that goes by the name of Beef. Anyways, you can't win without Beef Up Front. That's coming your way at 5:00. Florida State.
I know it's a sore spot right now.
Yeah, it hurts right now. It hurts right now. Especially, this summer I went back to Tallahassee for my graduation. I graduated.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Did see that. Yeah.
It was awesome, man. I surprised my mom. It was a beautiful trip. It was really fun. And got a chance to go in there and go see the coaches. I went to the stadium and I walk in. Hey, I'm an ex-player. Let me in. And I go up there and because Ron Dugan's the receiver there. I played with him, receiver coach. I played with him during my time there, and so I just went up there to go. Hey, coach. Hey, how you guys doing? Oh, yeah, we're fired up. We're ready. We're watching film and everything. And I'm like, all right, you know who the worst person in the world to watch a Florida State game is, right? It's my wife. She is terrible watching the game with. Yeah. She's running up to the screen, yelling at everything. And right now we're getting beat. And it's just not a good time, but it's just tough right now, man. Because you came in with a lot of expectation, and you felt like you were slighted with the games last year, with the way the season played out, being held out from the championship game. But you're not helping yourself right now with that conversation with the way this team is playing right now.
Yeah, that game against Georgia Tech. We opened up the season. It's in Ireland. It could not have been easy to go there. Everything that comes with that game. And then on the flip side, Trey, and this was something that we talked about from the gambling angle, like it was a spot for Boston College. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't know Kyler Murray Jr. was the quarterback that, with that style, but still at the end of the day, I just thought it was going to be extremely difficult for a team to go to Ireland, come back after losing the way that they did, right? And then, oh, by the way, your opponent didn't play anybody. They've been focusing on you. It just was set up for Boston College. And then, oh, by the way, they got some pretty good kids there as well.
Oh, yeah. They got a good squad.
Yeah.
And we just haven't been playing well. I think that our quarterback is struggling. I felt like the offensive line was not protecting well. I think we've been struggling a little bit there. But I do know that I think our offensive line coach is he's on punishment for right now for something that happened. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. So I don't know, man. It's a whole lot going on. Hopefully they'll right this ship, and make it fun again,
Well, they got plenty of games in front of them to do so.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they would still be suspending coaches and players for like nonsense, because it's just a whole different world now.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about Riley Leonard on the show yesterday, and he's the starting quarterback for Notre Dame. And it's like, my co-host Beef, he goes, that's not what they paid him for. And it was like, wait a minute, he's in college. Like, oh yeah, that's right. He's making $1 million, reportedly making $1 million, comes in and loses as a 28-point favorite to Northern.
Yeah. That's not what you're getting paid for.
No.
And man, in Florida, high school players are getting paid.
Wow.
So I'm like, man, that's the game. It has changed. It has changed. They've made it a professional sport. College is professional now. You can get fired. This is something totally different. So, and guys are jumping ship left and right, transferring, trying to find the biggest payday, and that's what the game has become now.
Who was your quarterback when you were down at Florida State?
I came in '93, so Charlie Ward, who was actually my commencement speaker. What? During my graduation. It was awesome. Yeah. So Charlie Ward was my commencement speaker. But Charlie Ward was a quarterback my freshman year. And then I think we had Danny Cannell one year. And then after that, it was Thad Busby. And then Chris Winkie came in like towards the end of our time. And then we even had Dan Kendra. That's from out this way. He's from out at Lehigh area out that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a wild dude, but those are the quarterbacks that were during my tenure at Florida State.
I grew up in Scranton, and we had a lot of I had a lot of friends that were Florida State Seminole fans. Bobby,
okay.
Everyone loved Bobby. Everyone loved.
Yeah, Bobby was awesome, man. It was because he was a lot tougher than what a lot of people thought.
Really?
Like Florida State, I tell everybody all the time, like Florida State was the hardest that I've ever been pushed in football.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. Like, I think Florida State going to Florida State during that period for me was it was either going to make me or break me. and it was all about breaking you down and building you back up. And I tell everybody, I think college is the area, if you go to the right program, it's going to harden the skin, and get you ready for that next level. Because I used to get my ass kicked at Florida State, man. It was bad, you know what I'm saying? Because you had a lot of good players that I was just dealing with all the time, with Peter Bower, Renard Wilson, Greg Spires, who went to Tampa and played probably about 10, 11 years in the game. Andre Wadsworth was a walk-on for us that ended up being like the 6th pick in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you had guys that I was dealing with all the time, and I was learning offensive line. So it was bad for me, and then mat drills and all of the other stuff that just happened with being in college that was just rough for me. But I think it made me when I got to the league, I had a chip on my shoulder, and I felt like I was ready for it.
Did you know that you were going to go pro from day one? It was always a want for you?
It was always a want. It took a little while to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Just because I came in as a defensive end. So I was recruited as a defensive end, but I think they always knew. They were like, sure. You're 6'7", 6'8". At the time,
Lane Johnson was a quarterback. I still blown away by that.
You know what I'm saying? So at the time, I was like, 6'7". I'm feeling like, oh yeah, I'm smooth. I'm gonna play DN.
Yeah.
And so what they did was they let me just put on weight. So they were like, oh yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, just eat, you're good, So after the next thing, I was probably like around 320 after my freshman year, because they were like, oh yeah, you put on that freshman weight. Because I came in at I was 6'7", 6'8", like at 280. And so then I got up to like 330 or something like that. And they were like, all right, you know what? If you want to go back to defensive line, then you need to get down to about 260. And I was like, all right, hey man, just go ahead and switch me over. This is it. So I just switched over to offensive line, and then the rest was history. But I tell people, like, offensive line is a difficult position to learn when you're switching positions. I mean, because it's hard when you're working backwards and you're trying to protect and learning protection, and then you getting put on your ass, and it's going to look bad. And it's going to look bad, when you hit the ground and your helmet is the first thing to touch the ground, and your feet fall over, and everybody's laughing at you. You're on film and you're getting clowned and all that. You just got to dust yourself off, learn from it, keep moving, and but it definitely helped because by the time I got to the league, I felt like, I was ready.
It's almost like you guys are cornerbacks, right? Like if you're a cornerback, you're going to get beat eventually. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? I still haven't found out what the hell happened with Sauce Gardner last night. He got pulled out of nowhere, and they didn't put him in there, and they said he was healthy. Weird stuff, but I need to follow up on that. I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, of course, even the best cornerbacks will lose those battles at time, and then I would imagine the same is for offensive linemen as well.
You have to learn from it. You got to get your butt whooped, and then you learn from it, and then you move on from it.
Florida State, we will move off of that, but they got Memphis coming up this weekend, so hopefully they can get a dub. Hopefully.
I'm hoping. That's all we got. That's all we have right now. Because right now, we're almost like everybody's homecoming game.
Hey, oof. Ouch.
Yeah,
And you guys were robbed last year.
You think so?
Was I saying it at the time? Possibly not, because in my mind I was still just focused on Georgia not getting in. But after it's all said and done, like, isn't there a little something to be said? Like, give them undefeated, give them the opportunity.
I tell you what, I think if our quarterbacks would have performed better, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But when you had Travis, I think was his name.
Yep.
He got hurt.
Correct.
And then the backup quarterback looked like he was just, it was the stage was way too big for him. And then I felt like that. I think that if he would have performed better, then they would have definitely given us that shot.
Yeah.
But because he acted like, oh my God, his eyes were the size of,
wasn't the same.
Yeah, he was done, So I think that was one of the things that kind of made them feel like, you know what, no.
And now we got a 12-team playoff. So hopefully there will be no more issues moving forward. Yeah, right. There will always be
always going to be something.
The team 13 and 14 are going to complain now. So, and oh, by the way, we'll have a 16-team playoff coming up soon, I would imagine.
It's coming.
Get that money. All right, back over to the NFL. And Trey, what's the big because it's week one, right? But you don't want to overreact, but there needs to be a little sense of urgency if you lose, right? You can't go down 0-2. So what's a message that you think a coach is spitting right now to a team that lost? And because Harbaugh comes to my mind. They won against the Raiders, and he was like, guys, I've been doing this a long time, and this is the week. this is the week. Like, there's nothing tougher than that week 1 to week 2 because you got to keep it going. And I know we just won, but like for a team that ended up losing, like the Falcons did, coming here, what's the message inside that locker room other than, yeah, we need to win a ball game?
Yeah. You know, one of the things I think that everybody's going to preach, especially when it's going to, oh, we need to get back to the basics. You hear that all the time. You know, say, hey, we need to get back to the basics. You know, let's just figure out, you know, what do we do well? You know, we got to go back to, you know, just playing mistake-free football. You know, I think that when you go through the way preseasons are set up and the way guys are not playing in the preseasons, you know, it's tough because conditioning plays a big role in it. Timing, you know, I think that you go back and you look at the first interception that was thrown, you know what I'm saying, what hurts. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now it's totally different. Guys are running full speed. DBs are running full speed. They're not just allowing the catch to happen. Guys are being a lot more physical and challenging the players. So, you know, I think that throws off timing, spacing, everything that's needed between quarterback and receiver, you know, and I think conditioning definitely plays a huge part in it. I know the first game, even though we would play a lot of the preseason games, I still always felt like that first game I was winded.
Yeah.
You know, just because, you know, it's just your nerves and your energy that goes into that game. So I think that a lot of it would just be like, hey, man, you're going to go back and watch the film. You're going to see, all right, what did you do well? And then if it's something that can be corrected, you try to correct it and you move on. But it's nothing that you can harp on it now. It's over with. Let's move on to it. Trash it. Watch the film. Learn from it. Then what can we do to not let it happen again?
DraftKings Sportsbook has the Eagles listed as a 6.5-point favorite. Monday Night Football right here at the link. And, of course, Philadelphia Eagles 1-0. Great performance by Saquon Barkley. And a lot of the film being broken down now with Jalen Hurts. And you brought up that one interception. That was ugly to start the game. But the one inside the red zone, people are looking at it a little bit different because A.J. Brown slipped.
Yeah,
I still didn't like the throw, though.
I didn't like the throw either.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like the throw either. You know, he probably could have let it go a little earlier, you know, if you're going to do that. But, I mean, you know.
What about staying with that? And again, I know you haven't had an opportunity, but, you know, if it looked to me, and again, I'm on the couch, all right? So I'm not Jalen Hurts. But it just, and I know his strength for him is to get out of that pocket, but Trey, he had room. Like what? He slides out, and then all of a sudden, so he's on the outside. AJ is literally in the middle of the field, essentially. So he had to throw the ball back across his body to a point. And I saw Baldy breaking it down on the timeline, and that's where everybody's going nuts. And I saw an article already written about it, like all you people that were giving Jalen Hurts a hard time over this throw, look at it again. I didn't like across the field. And then my other question is leaving that pocket. How do you feel about that from the offensive line perspective, and of course what you know about Jalen Hurts?
You know, if you're going to leave it, go. You know, if you're going to leave it, just go ahead and go. I felt that there were a couple times that once he left the pocket, just go ahead and get upfield and get what you can get, you know. But you know, he's trying to make a play, you know, and if it happens, it happens. I mean, that's going to happen. That's the game of football. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. I hope everybody didn't think that he was going to come out there and play a perfect game.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't play any preseason games. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? I would much rather he make these mistakes these first couple weeks. You still came away with a win. You put up 34, 30-some points. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? There were some mistakes that were made. I don't think we need to start burning his jersey. We're okay. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
It's not Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he threw 2 interceptions. Okay, we still put up 30-some points. Saquon Barkley he made some nice throws. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, this is his preseason.
I feel like that's one of the things that really stands out to me, and social media is poison, but everybody wants that perfect game.
Yeah, you want a perfect game, and there's no such thing in football. There's going to be an incompletion. There's going to be something that happens. You know, it's going to happen. I'm okay with it happening at this point in the season on a terrible field.
Yep.
And with bad field conditions, because here we go, kids. I mean, now I was like, oh my God, don't let this be like the Super Bowl game where everybody's complaining about the field because you had Saquon Barkley slip on the first run. You know, like, oh God, here we go again. Oh man, the field is terrible. Look at the field. Look at the field. You know, everybody's talking about the field. Everybody's slipping. Everybody's falling. And you know what? He threw 2 interceptions. Well, but we won. Let's not. You know, it's okay.
Yep. I totally agree with you
Yeah.
on that one. Could not
I
agree
can't
more.
wait for this fan base on Monday night. Man, they're gonna go wild. Yeah. Like even just being at the stadium during the game while they were in Brazil, I went to the stadium and just hung out.
Oh, for the watch party.
Yeah,
Nice.
for the watch party. And dude, like the amount of people that were there just for a watch party was just ridiculous. I'm like, man, look, are we all watching this on TV? Like, why are there so many people here? And I thought that the Eagles did a really good job with the way they presented it. It was awesome. I had a good time, just hanging out, talking some trash with Hugh on the stage and everything, talking about how I used to kick his ass in practice. That was fun. You know what I'm saying? But, it was fun, just being there and just being around the fans for a little bit and watching the game. I thought that the Eagles did a really good job with that, but I can't wait for this fan base to have a true home game.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's to open up the season on Monday night.
On a Monday night. Oh, yeah. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we had a viewing. Look, when you get a gift like that on a Friday night, the opportunities are endless. And we did last year a few of these. And in Philly's playoff game, we did as well. But in Manioc, we teamed up with a bar, McGillicuddy's, and then our presenting sponsor was a real estate agent, MyPhilly.house. So we were down there, and they blocked the road off.
Oh, yeah.
And they put up the big screen TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And like I was playing the fights on there in commercial break. It was people just going nuts. Eat out of hand. It was so easy. And of course, to come away with the victory on a Friday night.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. A great weekend.
Yep.
It starts the weekend off the right way. Everybody's in high spirits. Bring on some college football.
That's it. Staying with the NFL as a whole here, Trey. I said this yesterday on a Monday. Got some, I got some feedback that wasn't so positive, and you know this better than most. I talked positively about the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
For me, and I'm curious to know if you have a special team or a team or a player that stood out to you more than most as far as week one. I came away more impressed about the Dallas Cowboys with that win than any team, or not so much a player, but let's just stick it with the team's perspective because of the drama that revolves around that team constantly.
It's always something.
The CeeDee Lamb deal. Okay, he wasn't in camp. Micah Parsons retweeting, stuff that's being said about Jerry Jones, Big Jer. And then, of course, the contract comes down the day of the game. Now, I get it. He got his money and, that should free him up. But at the same time, I think his mind might have been elsewhere as far as Dak Prescott is concerned. But I was wrong. And they rolled a really good defense in Cleveland. And a lot had to do with Deshaun Watson, how bad he was. But from the Dallas Cowboys perspective, were you impressed with week one of that dub?
I thought they did well. I thought they did well. And, and I'm always happy to see Al Harris, who's the cornerback coach down there. I thought it was good to see them. Yeah, I mean, you can't say that it was good to see the Cowboys.
No,
win,
you can't.
They suck. You know what I'm saying? Like Dallas sucks. But they won. They suck, but they kind of don't.
Yeah.
Question mark. I don't know.
Coming into the season, everybody was saying that this was the end of the run and Dak's going to leave, and then all of a sudden they get that dub. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that this is the year. Let's not say that.
No,
it's a regular season win.
No.
This team wins in the regular season. There's nothing different. But in that spot with everything that was happening in the offseason and just the day of, he gets his deal, and I'm just like, all right.
I couldn't imagine that.
Getting paid.
Yeah, getting paid like that, and then it's like, all right, hey, let's suit up, and it's just a couple hours before the game.
Yeah,
like who does that anyway? Like what,
Dallas.
You know what? Yes, exactly, Dallas. Dallas does that.
Insane.
Yeah, but I think Michael Parsons, he wants to come to Philly. He wants to be a Philly guy. He's a Philly guy.
Yeah,
he'll be here.
He was saying something. Yeah, he was, because he's got his podcast.
Yeah,
and he was like. What were the Giants thinking? They need to be checked out, right? Like tampering, I think he was saying, giving them to the Eagles.
Yeah, he wants to be an Eagle.
Yeah, he does.
I think low key he has an Eagle something in his house.
Oh yeah,
it goes to sleep with like a.
I would take him.
Yeah, absolutely. That solves a lot of pass rush issues.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's an animal out there. He is an animal out there. I think that he. I think that our tackles have done well against him, but against other guys, he's a load. Yeah.
From last night's game with the Jets and the 49ers, you had the Hassan Reddick situation. And of course, you know, the Jets can't get after the quarterback. They can't stop the run. Hassan Reddick, and I know, like, I'm not even really too heavy into the details, but it doesn't seem like he's handled this situation correctly from afar, because he's costed himself a lot of money. But I thought, okay, after what just took place last night, that might actually work in his favor. They might be on the phone with him saying, whatever, we need to get you back in a uniform. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the conversation that's happening right now. But anytime you're getting fined $800,000 a week, you know, that kind of makes you feel like, all right, you know, and are you sure, agent? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, agent, are you sure? You know, are we really doing this the right way?
Is there any chance he's rogue? He's not listening to his agent? Or do you think this is a straight up agent?
I think this is he and his agent are like, look, we're going to dig in, and this is what we're going to do. And, you know, because, I mean, everybody has to be on board. When you're talking about $800,000, I need everybody on board. I need everybody on board. My mama, you know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to be on board with this.
How is mama getting on board with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't need you calling me all worried and everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Keep your thoughts to
That's
yourself.
true. That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
You know, we got this under control.
Don't tweet me, Mom. Don't post it on Facebook.
Don't be posting on Facebook. My baby gonna be all right. Just be quiet. You know, I'm gonna handle this. You know, but you know, this you know, $800,000 a week.
Right. He's good. He's so good. He deserves to be paid.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening. It just felt like, okay, he wasn't here. And he's going to the New York Jets. He's going to get that deal. He deserves to get that deal. Now, I don't know what he's asking for, but at the end of the day, this dude delivers year after year after year. And after that performance last night, get him in camp.
Yeah, they're going to do everything they can.
In a uniform, excuse me.
Do you think Howie can rope a dope?
That's what I've been saying.
You know,
I've been saying that for the last 3. It's not too late. Bring him back.
Yeah. Is there something that Howie can do?
He's the magic man.
If anybody could do it, Howie can. You know what, man? I just remember, like, I remember when Howie, like, first got here. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, you know, it's just like, it's so wild to see, like, even Sean McDermott, you know what I'm saying? Like, guys like that. I remember, like, when they were carrying suitcases, and it's just like, wow, look at how they've grown and where they are now. It's awesome.
Yeah,
really good experience.
Sean McDermott is a really good coach with Buffalo, and they're doing big things, continuing to deliver. It's just, again, he's got to go up against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
easier said than done. Howie Roseman, he's been around the block a few times. Him and Spadero, I think, are neck and neck for as long as they've been in an Eagles office down there. But Howie is the real damn deal, that's for sure. He's been able to make a lot of things happen. And when you look at what Dallas is dealing with, it seems like every single offseason they're going to deal with it again with Micah Parsons. And yet Howie, like, knock on wood, we don't have to deal with that. How is that even possible that we have A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Smith paid, Jalen Hurts paid? Like, how is it even possible that this could all be working out like
Have you even heard anybody complain about their contracts on this team? Like, I don't think I've heard anybody like, hey, man, you know what? I need to get a new deal. Because it's always, hey, man, we restructured this deal. Before it even becomes a topic, it's already taken care of. And I think that's one of the things that Howie does a really good job of, just making sure that everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the way these contracts are set up, there's always some restructuring that's happening every offseason to whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things he does a good job at doing, is just keeping everybody happy so that you don't have these problems that can kind of chip away at a team.
You're right. Yeah, because it seems like, in my mind, that it did take a little bit of a toll on Dallas to see their star players in the media. And, of course, not to have a guy like CeeDee Lamb, who could very well be the best receiver in the game. I still think A.J. Brown's in that discussion. I think Justin Jefferson's in that discussion. But, you know, bottom line is you got to get him in a uniform, because he is the go-to guy. I delivered in that game against the Cleveland Browns, sticking with the receivers, sticking with the contract. And another one that has me going crazy, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
You ever see anything like this? My man said he was limited. He said he was limited.
I feel limited.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, you know what? I think I'm going to be limited.
I'm limited.
Yeah. You know.
Have you ever heard anything like this? He's got 2 years left on his deal. He's another one. It's like you know you're going to end up paying him. What are they doing? Are they really bickering over a million? We're talking about NFL franchises here.
And he's trying to do it with 2 years left on his deal. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it sticky.
Because if you do it for him,
you're gonna have to do it for everybody else.
Gotcha.
And usually everybody gets that deal when you have one left on the year. So I get it. Everybody's pushing. Everybody's pushing.
What happens if you told Big Red I'm limited on the game day? Yo.
With Joe? No, it's not. Yeah, tell him Big Red, and then you got to deal with Joe Banner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there was everybody. Joe Banner was not. What?
You didn't want to deal with him.
What? You gonna try to talk slick to me? Oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's gonna work. Let's see how that works. Okay, no, that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening. And a lot of players, a lot of ex-players, they have a certain type of way about Joe. And I'm like, man, to me, I respected his position, and I'm like, look, man, he's trying to build something. And you're trying to create something. You're trying to build a team. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm going to pay you what it is. And, if you're cool with it, cool. If not, then go, and that's pretty much, there was not going to be a trying to force the hand. That's not happening, and I think that's one of the things that you just had to respect about Joe. You're not going to get in there and try to force his hand. Oh, all right. At the end of the day, I have the money. So we can try to find a replacement for you. You can be replaced. Now, that's one of the things that Bobby told me one time, my freshman year, we were doing mat drills. We were class of 93.
What's a mat drill? You said
mat
that
drills.
earlier.
Okay. So mat drills is kind of like, it was at 5:30 in the morning. So we had to get, man, it was crazy. So it's 2 hours of conditioning before we start spring ball. So they would wake us up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We would have to be on the mats by 5:30. So we would stay at Burt Reynolds. We stayed at Burt Reynolds' dorm. That's now all fenced off, and they're about to tear it down. Which it's okay. So, but they had metal doors. So they would all come through with this metal spoon and hit the door. As soon as they hit that first door, everybody in the dorm could hear it. So you clink, 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 clink. So we would have to go downstairs. We would get on the mats, and like everybody had to be sitting straight in a row, with your knees in your chest, sitting on the ground, knees in your chest, with your arms wrapped around your knees. Everybody had to be vertical and horizontal. All the lines had to be straight. And then they would break off where you had your big guys, you had your linemen, you had your skill players, and then linebackers or whatever. And then we would all split up, and then you would have some sprints, you would have what was mats, and then you would have like some other agility drills. So it's just a different, there's 2 hours of just, it's probably the worst stuff that you've ever gone through as a football player, and it was one of those things that you would see guys quit, and it was designed to make you either you push through it or you quit. And so it was my freshman year. And so, we're there, and it's first time in college, and, so we're skipping class. So we got all these classes that skip because nobody's checking this. And they're like, oh, yeah, so class of 93, y'all get out here. And, and they had us do up downs, and we had to do up downs. And then we had to do push-ups and sit-ups, and then had to do 25 more up downs, push-ups. So I caught a little attitude. And Bobby Biden walked up to me, and I'm all bent over because I'm tired. And he was just like, son, you can be replaced.
Oh, man.
And then he walked off. And then that was it. Ooh. And I was just like, all right, you know what? Yeah, let me just go ahead and just suck it up, and okay, that solved the skipping class thing, you know what I'm saying? But it was tough. It was tough, but it was fun.
Yeah, Bobby the legend.
Yeah, Absolutely. Bobby Bowden.
Yeah, that's
and he sits there like I saw him at at the Maxwell Awards. And I had a chance to sit down with him. I took my son to go meet him and everything. And we were sitting there, and he was like, it was like I was sitting with my granddad. You know what I'm saying? It was such a cool experience. And I have that picture to this day where we'll sit back and my wife and I will come across the picture every now and then. And she reminded, oh, you remember that? And I was like, it was awesome, man, just to sit there. And he was like, yeah, Trey, I remember you were in my office one time. And I can't remember why you were in my office. I was like, probably because I did something stupid, you know what I'm saying? But, it was fun. It was good times. Good times.
Oh, man, good times right now. We got Trey Thomas in the building. We're live till 5 o'clock. You got a question, fire away. We'll continue talking some birds. Big game on Monday night, NFL Week 2. Again, we got some spreads. I need to find a survivor pool winner. Could you help me out on that one, Trey, here? Can we look for this upcoming week? Because it is a difficult card to find that winner. I do like some games as far as spreads are concerned, some big dogs, but bottom line, we need to find a winner and for the people as well.
Okay, we have to check this out.
A lot of people were on Cincinnati. Oof, they all took the hit in week one.
Mhm.
Took the hit in week one. Patriots with that big time dub. Seahawks going to New England this week. So we'll break that one down on the other side, see if we can find that dub as far as Survivor Pool is concerned. And at 5 o'clock, beef up front. Don't touch that dial. More Daily Ticket after this.
We're less than 2 weeks away from our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st. Stream only on Hulu.
Get tickets while you still can now at AXS.com.
Audible is a proud partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, plus podcasts and originals, all in one easy app. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com. Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Spot you want to avoid this afternoon around the Constitution Center. Road closures in place in preparation for the debate tonight. Also, no access to the Ben Franklin Bridge into New Jersey. You can take the Walt Whitman or Betsy Ross instead. The Vine Expressway eastbound, that's crawling Schuylkill 95. 95 southbound, that's Yen. Vine Expressway to the Walt Whitman. Northbound backed up Penn's Landing to Allegheny with an axe on the shoulder. Eastbound Schuylkill stop and go Montgomery to Vine. Westbound Chance City to Belmont. Lyra to Tella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising.
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in, or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks.
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
GMFB Overtime has you covered as we dig into the first games of the season. Plus our take on Aaron Rodgers as Monday nights kick off Jets 49ers. And Tuesday, Pro Bowler Micah Parsons.
Weekday mornings at 10 on PHL 17.
Hi, I'm Napoleon Nelson, and I'm running for state representative of the 154th District of the great state of Pennsylvania. This year's election is so important, and I want to remind you to register to vote and exercise your right to vote in this year's election.
This is your Tuesday Sports Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas.
The NFL season is off and running. Week 2 starts on Thursday night with an AFC East battle between the Dolphins and Bills in Miami. Both teams 1-0. Both the Dolphins and Bills with quarterbacks that can air it out in Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa. Allen injured his non-throwing hand their Week 1 win over the Cardinals. However, he has been cleared to play and is good to go Thursday against the Dolphins. Miami, the early 1.5-point home favorite. Over under total points for this one, 49.5. Signature bet, single game parlays. Build your own parlays. Lots of ways to take action.
New BetMGM customers can download the app today using code MINUTE to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if they don't win their first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus to wager. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor.
At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Hey, coming down the home stretch. Can't thank you enough for coming by, Trey.
Yeah, man.
It's been a lot of fun, of course.
Just hanging out.
That's it. We're going to have to do it again, but I do know this much. You and Todd Hermans will be doing it on our airwaves every Monday night live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton.
But it's going to be this Tuesday.
This Tuesday, that's right.
Yeah, it's going to be on Tuesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's throwing me off,
Yeah,
right?
the Monday night game. Yes.
They got to make it difficult for us. Brazil, now we got Monday night. Yes. So Tuesday night, this upcoming Tuesday night, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. We will get the festivities started at 6 p.m. with the All-Pro Philly Sports Show hosted by Gerald Colton, Dave Spadaro, and there will be a Philadelphia Eagles player mixed in there. That's going to be a tough one because it's a short week, Tuesday night. So, yeah. All right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we're we're jumping those hurdles. We'll find out who that player is.
Yeah.
But then it will be followed by Trey and Todd, and can't wait for the debut show next Tuesday night, Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. All right, coming down the home stretch. I wanted to ask you about rookie quarterbacks, Trey. And did you ever have a rookie quarterback that got some PT? Donovan, right?
Yeah, 5 when he came in.
Wow.
But we started with Doug Peterson, though. So we started out with Doug Peterson first, and then, 5 kind of took over after, I don't know how many games.
Yeah.
But,
what happens if they threw Donovan in right from the beginning?
He's running for his life. So just because of the speed of the game, everything that's just happening, we were a young offensive line at the time. It was only my second year. So I think that, when you throw a rookie in, there's just so much the game is totally different from, listen, it's a little different from the college level, where the speed of the game is totally different. Some of these defense coordinators are extremely crafty at hiding their stuff and disguising and bringing it from different directions that you're not used to. So I think that when you have a rookie that comes in and he gets playing time right out the gate, it's tough. I mean, how many guys have you seen be successful as a rookie?
Very few. CJ Stroud is like, what he did last year was incredible.
Yeah.
From day one, we're talking, throwing right into the fire. And of course, we got that situation down in Carolina with Bryce Young.
He did not do well.
No.
Yeah, right out of the gate. But CJ Stroud, but he's an athletic quarterback, somebody that can make some plays with his legs, and then can get rid of the ball. He's it takes a special quarterback to come in and be successful right out the gate.
Right out the gate.
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams, and it was a tough start. It's not like I'd say I feel for the kid. I don't. At the end of the day, this is a profession. You were selected number 1 overall. You're getting paid. But man, bottom line is the expectations, the pressure that is just on his shoulders to take over for the Chicago Bears. And then, oh, by the way, their offensive line was terrible. So the pressure actually in front of them, I just think it's a recipe for a disaster. But at the on the flip side of that, the way that they're approaching is he's getting seasoning. He's getting some playing time.
Yeah, he's getting those reps. So, I mean, and there's only one way to do it, and that's just to go through it.
Wow.
So there's no, because in my, and I hate saying that, oh, yeah, in my day, because first round is your first round pick. You were expected to start.
Yeah.
It wasn't we'll give you a year or two to groom you. You're a first round pick. You start. Here's your playbook. You're our starter. Learn it. Let's go. So, I mean, that's the game, but I think that there's definitely a huge learning curve, especially at quarterback, just because of everything that's going on.
Yeah,
I think for you to be successful, you have to have a veteran offensive line to make it comfortable, and some weapons out there that can make it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of rookies get opportunities to play right from the beginning. One of them happens to be in the division, Jaden Daniels, and he was a beast at LSU. Of course, won the Heisman Trophy. Fantasy perspective, he was a top 3 quarterback in week 1, scored 2 touchdowns with his legs. He was incredible. But all I do know is this, you're asking him to do a lot. And I would imagine that there's some veterans as far as receivers are concerned that are looking like, hey, I want the ball, Rook.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about your struggles. Get me the rock.
Yeah. Look over here.
Yeah. Terry McLaurin was non-existent in that game.
Yeah. Look over here. I'm open.
Yeah.
And that's something that all right, you got that first game under you because it's preseason. Everybody's vanilla. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to throw too much at you. They're keeping it very simple. Nobody wants to show too much while we're in preseason. You're not going to see too much even when you're practicing against each other where you have these little group practices, which I'm not a big fan of, but
these split squad,
where you're practicing against other teams, it's always a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you see, hey, yeah, we had a big brawl out there, but anyway, but they're going to keep it vanilla. So once you get into a real game situation, it's totally different. So you're going to have to learn. You're going to take your lumps, and you have to learn from it.
Well, that's in our division, and that's a big deal. They're taking on the Giants this week. Wanted to question you as far as your thoughts, and after 1 week, to find a win on the board here for all of our survivor pool players that are still in a pool. A lot of people took a big hit with the Cincinnati game. But I am looking at that rookie quarterback being able to make plays with his legs down in D.C. They're at home against the Giants. I do like the Commanders this week.
I think New York right now, their feelings are really hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? You see how the fans were outside waiting on Daniel Jones and booed him all the way to his car.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, I think their feelings are going to still be a little hurt.
Yep.
So I see Washington pulling off that win.
All right, because that would be a what we would call a ballsy pick, but that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. Also, as far as the other games out there, I like to, I think we got to take inventory on everything. So of course the spreads. You got the Ravens; they're big time favorites here at 9.5. I think that might be the biggest spread on the board for week 2 here. Yeah. So I wouldn't have an issue with going up against the Ravens there with Lamar.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking the Ravens against Raiders.
Thursday night football with the Bills and Dolphins in a division. That's probably a stay away, but
I think the Dolphins win this.
Really?
Yeah. I think they beat the Bills.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Thursday night? Was Thursday night?
Oh, yeah, I played every night. I think I played every night.
Were they rolling Thursday night out?
Were they playing Thursday?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember.
Roger and the owners, they're getting that money. So
yeah, maybe I was just only Sunday and Monday.
Saints and the Cowboys 6.5. I assume by the time that kicks off, there'll be a 7. But this is a spot, not so much a survivor pool, but a spread. That's a lot of points to be giving the Saints there on that one.
Yeah, but I think the Cowboys win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chargers and Panthers. Panthers are in trouble. Yeah, I mean they're honestly you know what they are. This is where they're at right now. This is where the Carolina Panthers are at. It's draft season. They're on the clock.
They're on the clock.
They're on the clock.
Just go ahead and find out who's going to be top pick in the draft.
That's it. Carolina Panthers are taking on the Chargers. Harbaugh, J.K. Dobbins running the football all over the place. That's
man. Harbaugh got the guys fired up, man. And like
who got it better than us?
Who got it better than us? And left Michigan, and he's out of there.
Yeah. And somebody got to take the heat.
Yeah, somebody has to take the heat for everything else for his wrongs.
That would be another question for another day as far as cheating and what the whole scandal went down with.
Yeah, it was wild.
The Niners and Vikings 6-point spread there for the 49ers. They're on the road in Minnesota. That could be a difficult game.
Yeah, but I think the 49ers pulled it off.
Probably.
Yeah.
Colts and Packers. They're dealing with a terrible situation with Jordan Love getting hurt at the end of that game. Malik Willis is their backup quarterback. They're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in trouble. But and then just talking about that injury real quick. I mean, because everybody was all over Jalen Carter for that play, and I'm like, when you go back and you watch it, I mean, he didn't know. He's just trying to get the quarterback down. He's not trying to hurt him. He's playing football. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was, everyone gets in their feelings. Again, social media, nothing but poison.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't see anything wrong with that. At the end of the day, he's trying to get the guy down.
Yeah, you don't know if he can slip out of that. So you got to do what you got to do. You got to get him to the ground.
And if he did something wrong, they would throw a flag on.
Exactly. Yeah, so it was.
Bucks and Lions. That's a rematch from last year's playoff game where the Lions got the best of them. Hutchinson was a beast in that Sunday Night Football game coming off the line for him. So that's going to be a tough spot for them.
Man, I'm going to go with the Lions, though, man.
Okay.
I think Buns has something special out there with that offensive line. Hank Fraley, the offensive line coach.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's our offensive line coach.
His nickname is Buns?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why was his nickname Buns?
Honey Buns. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Honey Buns, so because we went to take it was stupid. Yeah. you get a nickname for some of the stupidest
the
stuff.
Dumbest things.
Yeah, and we were out there for our picture and for our team picture, and it was hot and and he had like a little glaze on him, like he was sweaty. It was just a slight glaze, and there was a bee that just kept swarming around him, so we called him Honey Buns, and then that was it. And then, like, even when I call him to this day, I'm like, "Hey Buns, what's happening, man? How you doing? I know you're the offensive line coach for the Detroit Lions, but you're still Buns to me."
Buns. All right. Well, we tried to find a play or two there. We're going to wrap up shop here, though. Trey, I can't thank you enough for stopping by today, man, hanging with us for the full show.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Monday night or Tuesday night, and then moving forward from there, it will be Monday night. But Trey Thomas, Todd Harriman's live at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Trey, where can we find you on socials, man? I know you're doing a lot of things.
I don't know. I ain't hard to find. At 72 Trey Thomas. I think that's my Twitter.
Okay.
And then I don't know what my Instagram is. Trey Dash. I don't know, man. Whatever. It's whichever one has the most on it. I don't know. Whatever.
We're going to put it out at Fox PHL Gambler. And what we plan on doing is some other things behind the scenes. We're going to be putting some videos out there. Trey's going to be breaking down some film for us. So we got a lot in the works for this upcoming
really
year.
nerd out with some plays, man. Show some film and draw up stuff.
Well, Trey, a lot of people enjoyed today's conversation.
Thank you.
Including myself. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. Awesome stuff. All right, coming up next, you can't win without beef up front. All things college football. Myself, Ryan Coyle. 6 o'clock, the Villanova Coaches Show with Mark Ferranti. Don't touch that dial. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Everybody enjoy your night. Peace.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Greg Karen, I'm the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Evans-Gay, and I'm running for Lieutenant Governor for the great state of Delaware. This year's election is so important, and I want to remind you to register to vote and exercise your right to vote in this year's election.
Kyle Evans-Gay for Lieutenant Governor.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me. But I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more.
Our quiet stretch will continue overnight under a clear sky. Still very comfortable in the suburbs with low temperatures in the 50s, right around 60 for Center City. And more of the same as we go into Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, low humidity. It does warm up a tad more with highs for most locations in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Adam Joseph with your 6ABC forecast.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy a pallet of Select Concrete Mix, because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Dan Patrick, 9 to noon.
Brett Brown joins us.
Colin